Hello, my little witches, ghosts, goblins, and ghouls. The leaves are changing. We're in the late part of October, so that means one thing. Halloween is coming. Halloween has become such a popular holiday. So today's Baking for Kids is going to talk about Halloween treats. So here we go. It's a pretty simple dessert. No oven, no baking today. We're going to essentially make dirt cups. So maybe you've made these before, which is primarily pudding and Oreos crushed to make dirt. And then we're going to add some Halloween flair to it and some decoration. So why don't we go get started? And then I also have a quick preview of a Halloween book for you guys too. You definitely need a mixing bowl, either a whisk or electric mixer, milk and instant pudding. So we need our bowl and our whisk or mixer, milk and pudding to make the pudding, and then Oreos. And then I'm going to use a food processor, but you can just crush them in a bag if you'd like. And then I have some decorations, which I'll talk about in a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to pour my instant pudding mix into my mixing bowl. You definitely want to use instant pudding, not cooked pudding. This will be much quicker and go easier. And then let's see, I believe it's 2 cups of milk. Yep. So 2 cups of milk added to that, and then we'll use my electric mixer. Like I said, you can whisk it by hand if you'd like, or if you want to give the kids some practice whisking, you can totally do that too. So there's 1 cup. Two cups of our pudding. I'll move this out of the way. In the chat, let me know what has been one of your favorite Halloween costumes, or what are you guys going to be for Halloween? Are you guys dressing up? Do you love candy? Are you excited? All right, let me plug in my mixer. And then, actually, you know what I'm going to do, boys and girls? Let's do this. Put your blades in while it's unplugged. That's safer. Want to do that first, right? So we don't turn it on accidentally and hurt our hands. Okay. Now this will be loud for just a minute or two while I whip up the pudding, so just bear with me. The kind of decoration you choose to do will be totally up to you. You can make it cute, you can make it gross and gory. That's really up to whatever you like to do for your decor, your decoration. Do you like kind of scary Halloween stuff? Or do you like cute Halloween stuff? Depending how old your kids are and what they like, you've got a lot of options. It's already starting to thicken. And the reason, of course, we're using chocolate pudding is because it'll look more like dirt, right? So we're going to kind of go for a little like pumpkin patchy, but kind of spooky pumpkin patch theme for this. You do want, in addition to the things I told you, I'll show you in 1 minute, a glass to put this in. Either plastic that's clear or glass vial. All right, I'm going to give it 1 more minute. Okay. It's a little liquidy now, but I'm going to put it in the fridge for a couple minutes and let it thicken a little more while we work on the other pieces. So it's a little jelly, but let me put this in my fridge. I'll be right back. Okay. So I've got the pudding done. So that means now we have to work on the Oreos. And we have a few options with this. You can use a food processor to do it, and that's what they recommend. It's probably the easiest. But the other thing you can do, let's look at some Oreos here, is to either just crush it in a bag with like a can or rolling pin. I've done that before on Baking for Kids. Or you can just pull the tops off, which are more likely to right? This part's more likely to crush, and you can just use those. I happen to have a little tiny food processor, so I'm gonna put a couple Oreos in to make some dirt. I'll show you in a second here. Okay, so we have the pudding. We're letting it sit for a couple minutes. I mentioned you want a clear glass. It can be plastic. They sell plastic cups that are clear, like party glasses, or you can use a real glass. I think shorter is better because, you know, it's not really practical to stick a spoon down deep in a glass. Okay, so let's get this going here. So this is my food processor. It's a little tiny mini one. And I'm going to turn this on in a second and we will crush these Oreos. And I can kind of check a little more. The one nice thing about a food processor is it will do it a lot quicker, obviously. But if you like the kids to do a lot of helping in the kitchen, then it's really fun to let them kind of use a rolling pin or something like that. Okay, I'm getting some nice looking dirt here, so I'll show you 1 second. I'll unplug this even though there's no blade. So here I have the Oreo that's all kind of crushed up and looks like dirt. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more Oreos really quick so we have plenty of dirt, and then we'll layer a little bit and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is now about 6 Oreos. It would help if I plugged it in. All right. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so I've got some dirt in my cup. So we've got the pudding chilling in the fridge and setting up a little bit to make it a little more firm. And then we've got the dirt here in my food processor. But stay right there. Let me grab a bag. I want to show you something. Okay, like I said, the other option is, and this is the low tech option, because I'm not a huge, I don't even own a full-size food processor myself. But you can take your Oreos and throw a couple in your bag. It would take more than a couple, but just so you get the idea. And then you can crush them. So you can start out just bare hand. You can use something heavy and kind of go like this. Let the kids kind of go to town on it. They can even hammer it a little bit. It'll be a little bit messier, but it's probably a lot more fun. So you can do that and kind of get some rougher, crumbly dirt that way. So we have the high-tech option of the food processor or the low-tech option of the bag. And just rolling pin or a can or something to crush it. Kids can use their hands, which is great for strength. Okay, so a couple other things before I assemble. We're going to talk about decor a little bit and then grab the book and then we'll assemble the finished product. I got some candy pumpkins. So we're going to put some of those because we're making like a little pumpkin patch. I got some gummy critters, like gummy worms, to make it kind of like a zombie pumpkin patch. And then Milano cookies, if we want to make like a little headstone shape, which I'll show you in a little bit. And then I'm kind of experimenting with the Milano, so I have one piece of chocolate because I don't have a food safe pen, so this will help me melt it and write on it. Okay, so let's read the book really quick. Let me grab it. It is called Leela, the Perfect Witch by Flavia Z. Drago. So I love this because Leela loves Halloween and she loves to bake. So that seemed very appropriate. Here is some of Leela's family. Great Grandma Rosinda, Hansel and Gretel are not their favorite people. My beautiful Baba, and then her sisters, and then here's Leela trying to cook. And then the escaped gingerbread man because he's magical. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it out. Leela, the Perfect Witch. Far and wide, Leela Wayward was known for being an extraordinary little witch. She lived with her Baba and 3 big sisters, Adelpha, Fur, and Lucy, in their cozy gingerbread house. She was always the fastest flyer, the most cunning conjurer. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this rabbit out of the hat. The sneakiest shapeshifter. Oh, she went from this to this. And the craftiest carver in her coven. Whoa, look at those pumpkins, you guys. For each of her talents, Leela had won a trophy, but she was saving a special spot for the most important one of all. Her dream was to win the magnificent Witchy Cake-Off. Ooh, kind of like the British Bake-Off. Don't worry, Basil, this is going to be easy peasy. So here's her friend Basil. Here's her little house with her haunted friends. So she's got a summoning and shapeshifting and flying and herbology and spelling. Looks like Leela's good at a lot of things. After all, Leela was the youngest in a long line of powerful women who were experts in the dark art of patisserie. That means like baking. And this year, she was finally old enough to enter the competition. Ooh, Leela's been waiting, you guys. But much to Leela's surprise, oh, they've got all the ingredients gathered. Baking wasn't such a piece of cake. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look at all these maybe not so what she had in mind cakes. These are all super kind of cute little monsters, and hers looks kind of like blobby. Of course, Leela wasn't going to give up. I want to be as good as everyone in my family, she thought. Leela, want to chase fairies and forage for mushrooms? But if she wanted to win, there would be no time to go out and fly, no time for carving pumpkins, and no time for fun. Leela was, after all, a particularly determined witch. Finally, after a lot of research, Leela found the perfect recipe. Mix the mandrake and nightshade. Now blend it with the wool of bat. For a cake of powerful taste, watch it bubble and let it bake. And after a lot of experimenting and hard work, she was about to make the most magical poof disaster. Oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. There's an octopus arm and a broom and all sorts of stuff. But guess what? I'm going to leave it there as a cliffhanger, so you guys will have to come and check it out. So this is a great Halloween book, Leela, the Perfect Witch by Flavia Z. Drago. All right, is she going to win the contest? Is she going to become a better baker? We don't know. We have to stay tuned and find out. Okay, let's go back to the cake assembly, the dirt cup. All right, so the critical ingredients here, the glass to assemble it, the pudding, the dirt, layers of Oreo, and then my decorations, which I've got the worms, the pumpkins, and my Milano cookie. And what I'm going to do to kind of cheat, because I don't have a pen, an edible food pen, is melt a piece of chocolate and just try to write some letters. So we'll see if that'll work. We're going to experiment. As Miss Nikki and I say in STEAM all the time, we're going to try it. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so like I said in the comments, do you like Halloween? Do you like dressing up? Do you like handing out candy? What's your favorite candy to get when you go trick-or-treating? These are things that are super important when we're talking about Halloween and food, right? Okay, let's see if my chocolate melted enough to write with it. Oh, a little bit longer. Okay. So I have some spoons here. And I'm gonna start my layers while the chocolate's melting. So let me move out of this way. So we've got the empty glass. I'm gonna start with some pudding. Oh yeah, this is nice and thick, you guys, look at that. So I'm gonna put that in the cup, make a layer. Okay, and then I'm gonna spoon some of my dirt. Next, let me flatten this out a little bit. We'll probably shoot for maybe 2 layers, we'll see. And my pudding layers are gonna be a little bigger because I was trying to make sure we had plenty of pudding. The dirt I don't have quite as much, so, but that's okay. It'll still look really good. And it's really yummy because it's got 2 textures. It's got the dirt and it's got the pudding. So you get the pudding and the chocolate Oreo, which is so yummy. Okay. So we've got some dirt there and we've got some pudding. So let's add a little more pudding. Okay, so I've got pudding, dirt, pudding, and then I'm gonna see if my chocolate is melted. Is it? Let's see if it's melted enough. Oh yeah, okay. So I've melted some chocolate, just 1 little piece. We're gonna try to write with that in a minute on our Milano cookie. So I have the chocolate melted and just a toothpick. We're gonna kind of do the whole quill and ink old-fashioned. So I'm gonna just write on it. Because I know chocolate is edible, right? We know that for sure. And I'll show you in 1 second. You'll see kind of the same idea in people's front yards, depending how all out they go for Halloween. All right. All right, we've got a little RIP there. And then I'm going to stick it in to the pudding and kind of create a little headstone. Now I'm going to add some more dirt, because if we were out and about, there'd be dirt on the top layer, unless you're in quicksand somewhere, which you've got bigger problems than if you're in that situation. Just kind of spooning it around, and then I'll show you guys. So here's my pudding dirt with my little headstone, and then I'm going to add a little bit more. Give me 1 second here. Little decor. Let's add a few cute pumpkins in our haunted pumpkin patch. And then let's add a worm to make it totally like nuts. Let's see. Because you know we got worms coming out of the ground. There we go. So we've got our little headstone and our little pumpkins and our little worms and our haunted pumpkin patch Halloween dirt cup. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Like I said, not too difficult, not a ton of ingredients. If you try it, let me know how it goes. It's a lot of fun to do something together with your kids for a treat that's not about costumes or decorating or trick-or-treating for candy. You just make a special dessert and you can serve it on Halloween or at a Halloween party. Thanks so much, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.